What is up, you guys? I cannot believe it's another year. Well, it's almost. I just can't believe this year is over. It just flew by, as it always does. But that means it's time to share my absolute tippy top, cream of the crop favorite makeup products. This is drugstore and high-end. It is a mix. I will have everything linked that I mentioned in the order I mention it in a pinned comment and in the description box. So if you do purchase anything through those links, it does support me and my channel. So thank you ahead of time if you choose to. I'm just excited. I was really picky about what I'm mentioning, as I always am, but I had picked everything. I pulled it. It was all together, and I went through it and weeded out like 6 or 7 more products because I really wanted these to be the just absolute best of the best from the year. So that is what we're doing today. I've been doing this for years. If you are interested to see some of my older ones, I can link I call them the Jammy Awards because those used to be my initials, JAM. But my best of the year videos I've been doing for a long time. I'll link the playlist if you want to see it. I don't think there's many repeats. These are all like fresh, new babies to me. There might be 1 or 2 repeats, but generally I know it's actually quite different products. So just popping in to thank today's video sponsor, which is Thrive Market. Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store and marketplace. We order so many groceries from them, especially things that we keep in our pantry, staples, our favorite snacks, things to go in lunch boxes. And we love it because we save so much money. I'll pop on screen how much we saved just in this order. In the course of a year, we save a lot of money on these things that we would be buying anyway, but they're cheaper on Thrive Market. I also love that it's just convenient. It's shipped to your door. You don't have to leave. If you're at home with kids or the weather's really crummy and you don't want to get out, it's so nice that you can just order it. Just comes to your doorstep. You don't even have to leave the house. And I also love that you can organize it by different keywords, whether you're looking for organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, keto, paleo. They have so many different ways that you can search through the site and so many options, so many more options than what I typically would find in store. Let me show you what I got this time. Late July makes some of my favorite snacks. I've never tried their Mexican street corn chips. I love their jalapeno ones. I just eat that like a monster. These are good. Oh yeah. Okay, coffee. I love getting the whole bean organic coffee from Thrive Market. This is their blonde roast. Really amazing bang for your buck when it comes to whole bean coffee, especially if you're looking for the organic kind. And then we love the Wandering Bear cold brew. They actually, I just saw, have big ones if you want like to have it in your fridge and have a little tap. We might get one of those for work next time. I also love to get the like probiotic type sodas. Poppy is definitely my favorite brand. This is the grape. I love the Doc Pop, which tastes like Dr. Pepper, but I also wanted to try the Hum probiotic seltzer. This is the peach flavor. So another thing I want to add is that orders over $49 ship for free. So we will add things to our cart. Once we hit that threshold, that's when we'll check out. I don't think we've ever paid for shipping, which is amazing. And I love that they use carbon neutral shipping from their zero waste warehouse. They're working towards becoming the world's first climate positive grocery store. I think that's so cool. Okay, so some kid-friendly things. Wait, no. This is for mommy and daddy. The Noka Superfood Smoothies, little pouches. We will eat these throughout the day as a snack. Delicious. They have so many different flavors. And then we're always getting some version of pouches for the girls. These are the Go-Go Squeeze, organic little applesauce pouches, and they've got like 4 different flavors. And those can get pricey, so I'm always glad to save any kind of money on pouches like that. We also grabbed the Thrive Market whole grain granola. This is their toasted vanilla crunch. Tyler and I are both on a yogurt kick right now, and we are vibing on granola and yogurt, so we are constantly buying that. And then I also got the from the ground up cauliflower stalks. These are a favorite. I haven't had these in a while, but they're so good. The girls like them too. So we were in need of some sea salt. We'll keep it like in a little container that you can kind of scoop out of. I love getting my salts and spices from Thrive Market because I do definitely feel like it's more cost effective. So we've got some Ancient Fine sea salt, and we also got some treats for Pinocchio Boy. These are the I Am Lovin' You Smarty Hearties. So Thrive Market has 2 different membership options. They have the month to month, which is $12 a month, or they have the annual, which is what we've done for the past few years. Breaks down to $5 a month, and I just feel like no matter what, we make our money back that we paid, that $5 a month in savings, by like a lot. Again, I'll pop on screen how much we saved just on this order. So it's highly worth it. I really feel like the value that Thrive Market has added to our life is incredible. There's a reason I've gotten so many family and friends on board. They've got their own memberships. They order from it once or twice a month. So it's definitely a good time to check it out. Right now, if you go to thrivemarket.com/JessicaBraun, you can get 30% off your first order and a free gift worth up to $60. They usually have really good free gifts you just add to your cart. So definitely a good time to check it out. As I said, I'll put the link in the description box and in a pinned comment. Thank you so much, Thrive Market, for sponsoring this video. All right, back to the makeup. Let's talk makeup, shall we? All right, SPF. This right here, the Hero Super Beam Sunscreen. I love this stuff so much. It's what I'm wearing today, so I'll show you me applying it so you can see it. It's slightly shimmery, slightly glowy. I almost hesitate to even say shimmery, but it is so lightweight and easy to use, but it's got that SPF protection. It comes out and you think like, oh, it's gonna be orange, but it absolutely blends in to look so beautiful. And I just love it. I've never had any issues with breaking out from using this. Sometimes I can have that issue with SPFs, but this I've not had that issue. I've been using it for quite a long time now. You can get it at Target, and it's definitely one of the more affordable glowy SPFs that are out there, especially compared to some of my other ones that I do love, like the Super Goop Glow Screen has been a past winner. But this one is just so good, and I feel like for the price, it's just incredible. So I love it. I love that it plays really well with makeup on top of it too. Another fave is the Kosas Dream Beam. It's kind of confusing, Dream Beam, Super Beam. But it's very similar. I've even talked about these being nearly dupes for each other. I just think the Kosas one is not quite as glowy, which might be exactly what you want. And I also like the way my skin looks with the Kosas one better if that's all I'm wearing that day. I like this with makeup on top, but I don't love it as much as my only face product. Does that make sense? But this just makes my skin look really nice as it is. So both are really great. Kosas is definitely more expensive, but it kind of depends on what you're looking for. And then my fave, just glowy, I'm gonna call it a primer. It's one of those products that could be a primer, it could be a mix-in, it could kind of be a highlighter, but it's the Say Glowy Super Gel. This, I had that mini of forever. Finally bought the full size during a sale. It is so beautiful. It is so thin and lightweight, which might sound great or terrible to you, but I'm telling you it's great because you can put it on top of an SPF, underneath the foundation, and because it's such a thin layer, it's just easy. You don't have to think about it. It doesn't pill up. It just is the right amount of glow. This is truly, truly one of the best products I own. I talk about it a ridiculous amount because I just think it is that good. All right, let's talk foundation and base products. So one that completely took me by surprise this year is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop. This is kind of more of a light to medium coverage, but I would say leaning more medium. I thought this would be really light coverage. It definitely has more coverage than I would have guessed. I love the packaging that it's this plastic bottle, but it's like squeezy and it's just got a squeezy top. It's really lightweight if you're traveling with it, which I have traveled with this. The shade match is, I have the shade 4, which for me happens to be a really good shade match too. So I think that's a part of why I like it so much, but it just makes the skin look beautiful and it doesn't look like makeup. It's so hard to find, and I just was so impressed the first time I used this. I apply it typically, I pretty much apply all of my things with a sponge, but this one works fine with the brush as well, but I just love this so, so much. One that I really like, but I still don't think I have quite the right shade match. It's what I'm wearing today, the Haus Labs Triclone Foundation. This absolutely went viral. People, I mean, I want to say a lot of the shades sold out, if I remember right. The shade I have is, I think, just slightly too yellowy dark for me, yellow and dark for me. But anyway, it just is gorgeous on the skin. This foundation is truly, I don't know, it's exactly the kind of texture I like, where it's got a little bit of girth to it, but it's not too thick. But it just covers exactly what you want to cover. It looks so pretty on the skin. It definitely has, I would say, higher coverage than the Fenty Beauty, but it still looks really pretty even up close. And I think that's where the magic of this is, and it lasts a long time on the skin. Now, this is not travel friendly because it is a very, very heavy, beautiful frosted glass bottle. So just something to be aware of. I mean, I don't think most of us are buying products with travel in mind, but I don't know, maybe you were curious. Honestly, if I were gonna travel with it, I think I'd just depot it into like a little thingy. Okay, I almost didn't mention this one, but I have to because really the reason I didn't want to mention it is I was like, is it too new to me? But I don't think it is. I think I've been using this for longer than I realized. The Laura Mercier Real Flawless Perfecting Foundation. This is a thinner formula than the Haus Labs, but definitely medium to full coverage, but it's still so thin. So it spreads out really well. I like this best for sure with a sponge because I think it makes it look even more flawless. You can get away with a brush, but you have to have the right brush with this, I think. But again, a beautiful frosted glass bottle, just really pretty packaging across the board. Absolutely makes your skin look perfected and flawless. A little bit goes a long way, but it doesn't look dry and cake. None of these look dry on the skin. That is always my thing. I lean dry, especially in the winter months, so I like matte foundations I'm not into. This is definitely the most matte product I'm talking about, but I would call this a satin finish. So this is beautiful too. This is probably what I would reach for. Well, it has been what I reach for like date nights and special events. This is what I would go for. And then just a quick one, the Herborian BB cream was a discovery of mine. Stunning on the skin. This is what I use every time if I have like dry skin patches and every foundation's just making it worse. This makes it like you can't even tell. It is crazy. I don't know what in the world. The thing is though, this is, yeah, it's a Korean brand, so the shade range can be really, really tricky. I wear the shade Claire. Let's talk concealers. The easy, hands down, like most obvious winner, and I know this is probably on a lot of people's best of the year video list, is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. This is different. It's different than any concealer I've ever tried. It is like almost, glowier is not the right word, but it's hydrating, but it's still tacky, and it covers. Y'all, I mean, this is like the best concealer I've ever used. I'm going to talk about my close second, and it is way cheaper. But there is something special about this. Like, there's so many expensive concealers out there that I don't think are worth the price. And I'm like, it's not that much better than the drugstore ones I like, blah, blah, blah. This one is different and is actually worth the price. That I would swear on. I don't know what I'm swearing, but you know what I mean. Okay, the close second you can get on Amazon, the Catrice True Skin Concealer. So many of you guys tried this after I recommended it in video after video after video. It is so good. It's different than that. I think it's got the same coverage level, but it blends in so beautifully and easily. It lasts well. It's hydrating as well. It's just not quite as tacky, which I know doesn't sound like a good thing, but there's something about that, Natasha. It's so bizarre. But this is absolutely stunning. I would totally recommend this. If you cannot swing that or you don't want to spend the money on concealer, give this a try because this is my favorite for the past few years. And I mean, if I only had these two concealers, I'd be good. Like, I don't even need the rest of mine. I know I did a concealer declutter recently and I'm like, well, I guess I could have gotten rid of all of them because those are the two I reach for every time. All right, let's talk brows. The e.l.f. Wow Brow has been a favorite for years. It's a favorite again. I repurchase again and again because you know what? I go through tinted brow gel so quickly no matter what kind of money I spend on it. I'd much rather spend $4 and this is perfect. However, another one I fell in love with this year is the Lawless Creamy Brow Wax. It is absolutely beautiful. I like this because it has a little more hold because it's got that wax kind of built into it. The e.l.f. Wow Brow does not, to me, have any hold, but it's got the tint I like. So usually if I'm doing the e.l.f. Wow Brow, I need a clear brow gel over it, whereas the Lawless, I don't feel like I have to. Today I'm wearing the Merit 1980 Brow, which I actually filmed a clip of me applying. I love that as well. I feel like it's still so new to me, like I've recently fallen in love with it that I'm like, maybe I shouldn't mention it, but if you're curious, that's what's in my brows today. My favorite clear brow gel, hands down right now, is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. This stuff glues your brows into place, but it is very lightweight. It is perfect. Let's talk powder, shall we? So my favorite pressed powder foundation is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet. This has been my favorite for years. It is still a favorite. It's just so easy. I never have to worry about my skin looking weird. If I've got this and I throw a little bit in my T-zone or maybe this area looks weird, I'll just tap a little bit of it on there. Perfect. I can use a wet sponge with it. It's perfect. If you are wanting a powder foundation that is just beautiful and foolproof, I really think this is the one. Now, this was my like year of loose powders. I haven't really been into them lately, but there are two that stole my heart. One of them is the Ami Collet loose powder. This is so blurring and beautiful. It really does feel more blurring than most other loose powders I've tried. It's gonna help with the longevity of your makeup as well, but I just feel like it blurs so beautifully. But then the Jones Road Pink Powder, this was another one that when I first tried, I was like, it's okay, I don't get it. But when I tried it with a velour puff, that's when the magic just was revealed to me. So I'll show you me applying it now. I'll set my concealer with it and it just makes it look like you have a filter on. I am astounded by that. Someone was making fun of me in a comment and they were like, Jessica, really, like, this is the first time you've ever heard of using pink powder on your under eye that way? And I'm like, I've heard of it, I've just never tried it. Like, I just thought, oh, that'll look weird on me, and I never tried it. So when I tried it, I was like, oh my gosh. So those two right here, this, did I even say, this is the Jones Road Tinted Face Powder in pink. They have a deeper pink as well if you have a deeper skin tone. Let's talk eyeshadow. I don't have many. This was not my year of wearing a lot of eyeshadow, so the two things I'm mentioning I really, really love. First up is the Anastasia Soft Glam 2. I barely opened my palette drawer this year. I bought a few palettes this year as well that I liked, but none of them were the ones I was reaching for. This is the only palette I reached for so consistently that I felt confident mentioning it in this video. It's my perfect everyday palette. It's got a dark black if I want to do like a smudgy liner look with it. It's got some mattes, some shimmers. The shimmers are gorgeous. The mattes are so easy to blend. The only two I really don't use, the Orange Soda and the Mulberry. The Mulberry I've used a little bit for some liner, which can look really pretty too, but it's my perfect palette. Like, again, I could probably get rid of my entire palette drawer and just use this. But these are so beautiful, and I feel like I never hear anyone mentioning them. It's the M Cosmetics Dewy Eyeshadows. So I have Wish and Moonrise. Today I put Wish, which is a little more gold. I mean, it's not gold, but it's a little more gold than Moonrise. I put this all over the lid. It's kind of an almost creamy eyeshadow. I always use my finger. I don't think it works very well with a brush. I don't think it's meant to be used with a brush because it is kind of a cream to powder, but it has this beautiful, unreal shimmer to it, but it stays in place. You don't get fallout because it's that creamy texture. This is so underrated. I cannot believe more people aren't talking about it. The only thing is I'm pretty sure you can only get M Cosmetics on their site. I'm telling you, it's worth it. A lot of their other products are really good too. So if you were doing it, maybe find a deal, get free shipping, whatever, but love their dewy eyeshadows. All right, two favorite eyeliners. If you've been watching my channel this year, you already know what they are. One, the Makeup by Mario brown eyeliner, the shade The Perfect Brown. It stays in the waterline. It's so easy to smudge. That's what I've been doing literally all year. I love it. It also has a brush on the other side. This, I mean, I couldn't do this video and not mention this. And my other favorite, which I happen to just not have one currently, I need to buy another one, is that's not true. I know I have one. I think it might be at work. But anyway, it's the Sephora 12-hour eyeliner. They're waterproof. There's like 40 colors, something crazy. My favorite shade is Tiramisu. That's the closest to this. Also stays in the waterline perfectly. Like, these two are interchangeable to me. I would say you might as well save the money and get the Sephora one, but it is cool that the Makeup by Mario has the brush to it if you would use it that way. So love those both equally. And the only mascara I'm going to mention is the Tower 28 Make Waves. This one I'll show you me applying is actually getting very old. I need to open. I already have my next one. I need to open it, but I'm just trying to get like every little bit out of it. It is my perfect mascara. It does not flake or smudge on me. It does not clump up. It holds a curl. Like, it is truly my favorite perfect mascara. I've had a few people say they tried it and didn't like it. I don't know what to tell you because I love it so much. So I'm so curious. It's just, I guess, one of those, your mileage may vary because so many people love it. And then there's those few that really don't. So I think it's worth trying if you've never tried it. I can't stop using it. It blew every mascara I think I've ever tried out of the water. So there you go. Another one I love, I don't currently have, is the L'Oreal, the one that went viral. I'll put it on the screen. That one is also really, really pretty. Did not smudge or flake on me, holds a curl. I don't think it's as easy to apply as the Tower 28, which is why that one is still the winner. But it's of course more affordable and I still think it is incredible. So I will link that one below as well. There will only be one bronzer mentioned today, and it is one that I mentioned last year and it's still my favorite. I literally use it every day, you guys. I have to force myself to try other bronzers. The NARS Cream Bronzer. It's still my favorite. I had to buy a new one because I ran out of the other one. There is something about this. It's almost as if it's a foundation. That's what I've been realizing lately, because when I apply it to the cheeks, it like covers that area. And so it feels like it's applying more coverage and the bronzer shade. And I think that might be the magic of this. It feels like it's almost a foundation, but it's just in my bronzer shade. I love it. It stays in place all day, which for a cream bronzer is incredible. It blends in so quickly. It is just the most foolproof, perfect cream bronzer. I had 2 others I was gonna mention, but I'm like, none of them were that much cheaper than this, and this is still my favorite, so that's why this is just what I'm gonna mention. If you want to save a little bit of money, I will say the Tower 28 one is definitely, I guess it is like half the price. That one is also really, really beautiful. They're matte cream bronzer. I'll link below. I do think you need to have a little bit of a lighter hand with it, but it is really pretty too. I do use that one a lot. But I do have 3 blushes to mention. First up, the Milani Romantic Rose blush. Still a favorite, has been for years. It's what I'm wearing today. It is definitely my go-to powder blush. I have the shade Romantic Rose. With my skin tone, it's perfect. I love that it's really long lasting and it's just so easy. I don't have to think about it. I can go ham with it and it always looks pretty. The thing I ended up buying another one of as well, the Stila Convertible Color Blush in Lilium. It is so beautiful. You can just take it and apply it with your finger. You can apply it with a brush. My favorite brush is a Real Techniques one I can link below for like cream blush. Hands down the best one I've ever used. Ever, ever, ever. This is just beautiful. It is just beautiful. You can use it on your lips too, by the way. I have to say I've never tried it that way, but I actually could see it being really pretty because it's almost like a dewy finish, but it does stay in place really well and it makes the skin look unreal. And then the Say Dew blush in Peachy is so beautiful. I honestly haven't used this in a few months, but I could not put this down the first like half of the year. It's this beautiful peach tone. I honestly should have worn it with this outfit I'm wearing today. Oh my gosh. I typically just do exactly that. I just get it on my finger and just tap it around in circles on my cheek and it looks so beautiful. It's called the Dew blush, but it's not, there's no glow, there's no shimmer. It just looks like healthy skin. So good. My favorite highlighter, and I almost didn't even mention this because I really just have not worn a lot of highlighter this year, kind of slowly. I just did my highlighter collection and declutter video, and it really inspired me to start using highlighter a little bit more because I have gotten away from it. So now I'm dipping my toe back in, but this is the Give Check My Glow highlighter in Platinum Cowgirl. This is definitely a less obvious highlighter. You can see it, but it's not blinding. So I feel like I can kind of go ham with this and it looks really, really pretty. I love that it gives like the vibes of those. Remember the Physicians Formula ones that were kind of like this? I think those still exist. Similar vibes. Anyway, but I do like it. It has a very perfumey, makeup-y smell, so that might bother some people. I did want to make, because it is definitely obvious. All right, let's talk lips. Last year for lip liner, I mentioned the Rare Beauty Kind Words lip liners. I still stand by, these are so good, and I use them a ton this year. But I wanted to mention a wood pencil one, because sometimes those are really creamy, the Rare Beauty ones, and sometimes it's not what you want in your lip liner. If you're like wearing something you want it to stay, I really have been enjoying the Lawless Forget the Filler lip liners. I actually don't have, my favorite shade is upstairs. Today I used the shade Cinnamon and I outlined my lips and then I kind of colored them in. This is a pretty darn creamy wood pencil liner. I was really surprised the first time I used it, but they work really well. They sharpen really well. They're just really good and they stay in place. I paired it with my favorite gloss I think I tried this year, and this was a later edition because it was a newer launch, the Milk Odyssey lip glosses. I tried these a few months ago and I was like, they're not sticky. They still have that color to them, but they feel oily, but not too oily, because I love lip oils as well. This has the vibe of that, but it still feels like a gloss, and it still has some color to it. So I feel like it's a really good hybrid if you're not really into the sheer lip oily trend, but you don't want the sticky lip gloss either. This truly is like a hybrid of all of that. My favorite shade that I use the most is Quest. It's kind of brown, which is what I put on top, but it ends up looking so pretty on the lips, especially if you're wearing a nude lip. Like I'm wearing peach today and I'm like, okay, I don't want anything too pink or too red, but I didn't want to go full peach either. So this was kind of that perfect in between. But I also really like the shade Work Trip, spelled W-E-R-K. These two I don't use as much, but I also have a clear version of this I love with everything else. So it's just one of those beautiful lip products that would live in your purse and you would just absolutely love it. And it smells lightly of vanilla. The lipstick I have worn more than any other lipstick probably for years is still the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade In Love with Olivia. This is one of her more kind of hydrating lip. So there's other colors. I'll link this line because she does have different lines of lipstick and I don't like all of them. Like, I don't think they're all created equal. This line, I think it might be the Hot Lips 2 lipstick line, is beautiful. It is super, super hydrating, creamy, pigmented, looks healthy on the lips. Like, it doesn't outline all of the lines you might have in your lips. You know what I mean? It is my favorite. I also love the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl. These, I think, were a carryover from the year before. These stay really well. They just make your lips look gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. This shade is definitely my most used in the shade Koi. I might end up wearing this for New Year because I just really like that it looks healthy on the lips, but it does still last a while, but it's still like juicy, but it's not like glossy. It's that, again, kind of a hybrid. I also really liked the NYX Fat Oil Lip Drip. I don't know if I say that in the right order. It's in the shade Supermodel. It looks bright pink, but it is so pretty. But the only complaint I have is I hate the applicator. It's like, but once it's on, it just ends up looking so beautiful. I leave this one in my purse a lot because you don't really need a mirror, especially in the spring and summer. This is something I reached for a lot and probably will again this spring and summer. And then a quick shout out for the holiday red / big event red lip you need. It's from CoverGirl. It's their Outlast Ultimate Lip in Wine O'Clock, number 130. This is that red. You know what I mean? It will last forever. You might reapply in the middle, few hours in, especially if you're like eating or drinking. But if you are going to an event and you want that beautiful red that makes your teeth look white, you see it from a distance and you're like, ooh, that red lip is like gorgeous. It's this, like this is the shade. So wanted to mention it because it is such a great price for such a great product. That's everything. Okay, stay tuned for my next one. I'm doing my next best of the year is everything else. So we're talking fashion, jewelry, shoes, kitchen and home, skincare, body care, hair care. I never know how to split it up, so that's just how I end up splitting it up because I talk about so much makeup. It feels right to do a makeup devoted one and then everything else. Honestly, I have to admit, I think the lifestyle one that I do next is my favorite one to film. It's been my favorite one to plan as well. So definitely stay tuned, subscribe. If that is already up, which it very well may be by the time you're seeing this, I will link the video down below. Check it out. Next, subscribe. We have a whole year of some amazing content coming up. I am so excited about. If you are new to my world here, you're new to my world, I do vlogs throughout the year, like honestly, like 3 or 4 a month. Where I talk about everything under the sun, including makeup and beauty faves, but I talk about other stuff too. And I'm just excited for a lot of the content to come this coming year. So I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you to my video sponsor, which is Thrive Market. Again, if you want to check out Thrive Market, you can get 30% off your first order and a free gift worth up to $60 by going to thrivemarket.com/JessicaBraun. I'll have the link down in a pinned comment and in the description box if you are ready to check it out. I'm telling you, you'll start the new year off right. Get some healthier snacks, some healthy pantry staples. We've loved it for years and we continue to love it. So thank you again to Thrive for supporting my channel in that way. And thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. If you did watch all the way to the end, throw the little lipstick emoji, 2 of those down in a comment, but don't just do the lipstick. Maybe pop in what is your favorite thing you discovered this year, makeup or otherwise. That way it's a juicy, I love reading your guys' comments. So if you're gonna do that, put a little comment with it of what was your favorite item of the year that you discovered, whether it's makeup or not. I want to hear about it. Maybe you have a couple of items. I just feel like when we all share our favorites in the comment box, it becomes so fun to read through because it gives me ideas of things I want to try. It might give some of you guys ideas too. Get the conversation going. So I love you all so much and I will see you in my next one. Bye.